Buying your first beehive can feel like choosing a spaceship. But the bees mostly want dry boxes, room to grow, and you not panicking every inspection. Welcome to rootInsect.com.
And maybe a beekeeper who doesn't buy the weirdest bargain bundle on the internet at 11 o'clock at night.
That's the hard truth. Today we're talking about the best beekeeping starter kit for 2026, especially for first-year beekeepers who are trying to spend wisely without getting stuck with oddball equipment.
The short version? For most beginners, I'd start with a standard 10-frame Langstroth kit from a known supplier. And the article's top pick is the Man Lake Complete Hive Starter Kit in the 10-frame version.
Which sounds almost too plain. No fancy windows, no futuristic honey tap, no look at my designer hive moment.
Plain is a feature here. First-year bees don't care if your hive photographs well. They care if the equipment stays dry, has enough space, ventilates reasonably, and lets you inspect brood, food stores, queen activity, and mite pressure without fighting the gear.
That's where standard sizing matters. A 10-frame Langstroth setup is the common language of beekeeping in a lot of places.
Exactly. If you need another deep box, more frames, an inner cover, a feeder, a queen excluder, or a replacement bottom board, you can usually find parts from major suppliers or even a local bee club member. That's huge in May when the colony suddenly expands and you realize, oh no, I'm out of equipment.
I've seen that happen. One warm stretch, a nectar flow kicks in, and a calm little package colony turns into a crowd at a county fair.
In Zone 6B, like South Central Pennsylvania, that can happen fast. 5 good nectar days can change the whole mood of a hive. Beginners underestimate how quickly bees can draw comb when conditions are right.
The article compared 4 starter kit paths: the Serious Standard 10-frame kit, local woodenware, premium flow style kits, and the cheap mystery bundles. Fiona, are you anti-flow hive?
I'm not anti-flow, and here's where I'll disagree with the grumpy beekeeper corner. Clever harvesting tools can be interesting. But for a brand new beekeeper, anything that makes honey seem like the main event can teach the wrong priority.
Because year one is not just install bees, collect jars.
Not even close. Year one is learning to read brood patterns. Feed when needed, inspect calmly, keep enough room ahead of the colony, monitor varroa mites, and avoid rolling the queen. Ask me about the inspection where I gently moved 1 frame and then spent 10 minutes whispering apologies to 40,000 bees.
I remember that. You looked like you were negotiating a hostage release.
That queen was fine, for the record, but that's the kind of thing beginners need to practice. A kit should support good habits, not encourage shortcuts.
What about local woodenware kits? I like buying from local suppliers when possible.
Me too. A good local kit can be excellent, especially if it's standard Langstroth equipment and your bee club uses the same sizes. The advantage is local advice. The caution is to check what's included. Some kits look complete but still need a feeder, protective gear, extra boxes, or enough frames to manage growth.
And the cheap mystery bundles?
That's where I get fussy. If the dimensions are strange, the wood is poorly cut, the frames don't fit cleanly, or the veil and gloves are miserable to use, the deal gets expensive fast. Beginners already have enough to learn without fighting warped boxes.
So if someone is shopping right now, what should they check before buying?
First, confirm it's standard 10-frame Langstroth equipment, unless you have a specific reason not to. Second, look at the exact contents, because bundles change. Third, make sure you'll still have money for bees, mite testing supplies, a decent smoker, a hive tool, feed, and probably more boxes than the starter kit includes.
That last part surprises people. A starter kit starts you. It doesn't finish the season for you.
Right. Also, protective gear matters. A veil that fogs, gloves that feel like oven mitts, or a suit that makes August inspections unbearable can make people avoid opening the hive. Avoided inspections turn small problems into colony problems.
So the winner is boring, compatible, repairable, expandable, and recognized by bee clubs.
That's why the Man Lake 10-frame kit makes sense as the first recommendation. Not because every box on every listing is perfect, but because it puts beginners on a standard path with parts they can actually find.
And before ordering, think about your yard, your schedule, local forage, winter conditions, and whether you can inspect regularly. The box on the porch is only one piece of beekeeping.
Thank you for listening to this edition of RudeInsect.com, Conversations with Grant and Fiona.